The Los Angeles Chargers, to me, are one of the more intriguing teams in the entire NFL. They have a lot of talent to work with, are very young, and ultimately have so much room to work with since they do have the head coach Brandon Staley, who I've broken down before. But their division is kind of a powerhouse now. So let's look at the Chargers and see how they stack up with the rest of the division and see what they can do to continue to improve off of what has already been a great offseason in only the first week. What's up, guys? I'm Tyler Coker, and I'm your host for today's episode of Today with Tyler. I hope you enjoy. We will begin once again with their free agents. So their free agents include Linval Joseph, the nose tackle, Chris Harris, the corner, Mike Williams, who they re-signed, Jared Cook, the tight end, Uchenna Nwosu, the linebacker, and Kaiser White, the linebacker. So I don't see these as pressing because they did re-sign the most important one in Mike Williams, and they got J.C. Jackson instead of Chris Harris, so they can let him go, and they got Sebastian Joseph Day instead of Linval Joseph. So ultimately, they did a lot to take over those free agent spots instead of re-signing them, which is a really good idea. So let's get into their offense. Justin Herbert is already a top 10 quarterback, and you can argue that he's top 5, potentially over Joe Burrow. So there's no need to worry about quarterback for a very, very long time. All you have to do is keep him happy and keep him healthy, and you will be a very good franchise for a long time. And he certainly has reasons to be happy right now. Both Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are good, and Williams is finally living up to that hype that he got in his draft scouting. Jalen Guyton and Josh Palmer, they both did well in their stead with the team when they were kind of struggling with injuries and COVID, but in the end, the passing game works through Allen, Williams, and a mixture of Jared Cook and Austin Eckler. Jared Cook wasn't necessarily good, but as a tight end, he works for now, and they certainly should look to upgrade the tight end position. Ideally, they could get a fresh one for next season, maybe even in the draft with someone like Trey McBride or Isaiah Likely, or maybe even Jalen Weidermeyer. Austin Eckler is a really good outside running back and a great receiving option as a running back, but they really can't run it up the middle and in between the tackles as well with Austin Eckler. I like to see him take a Kamara Ingram type approach like how they did in New Orleans here in Los Angeles. As we'll hear a little bit later in an interview, someone like Ronald Jones might be a great fit where you can run it up the middle and just kind of smash mouth your way through and then bring in Eckler to be a better pass catching running back. For now, I'll credit their offense and hope that they can build off that, and I'll credit them for their offensive success at the line positions. Their entire left side of the line has absolutely flourished since last season. Rashawn Slater is one of the best first-rounders of the entire 2021 NFL Draft, and Matt Filer and Corey Linsley both combined to be competent at the line as well. It's weak on the right side, especially at right tackle, and they released their actual right tackle in Ryan Bulaga, and that played a major role in their failure to defeat the Raiders, where Max Crosby plays almost exclusively on the right side of that line, and so he's just been tearing him up. They need to improve the right, especially right tackle, if they really want to find some more success next year. And ideally, Storm Norton also would be off the team because, man, watching some of his tape against Max Crosby really was just embarrassing. Going to their defense, I broke down a lot of their woes, but they've done a lot to change them. Derwin James and Joey Bosa aside, their team wasn't very good until they traded. They traded for Khalil Mack for only a second and a sixth. They signed J.C. Jackson to be a lockdown corner and let Asante Samuel be a little bit more of a developmental rookie. And then, of course, they brought in Sebastian Joseph Day, who played for Staley in Los Angeles Rams when they were the number one defense in the entire NFL. So clearly, Brandon Staley has control of the personnel now, and it's going to work very well. So yes, I would like to see them get a lot of linebackers because Drew Tranquill, Kaiser White, and Uchenna Nwosu weren't able to make any impact on the ground game, but when you have a good defensive line like what they have, it doesn't matter as much. I personally would also like to see them get a new free safety because Nasir Adderley isn't the greatest fit for the system, and ultimately, I'd like to see a better free safety in general. So ultimately, they've done a great job with their defense. Brandon Staley has done a fantastic job this offseason so far, and I'm actually really excited to see the Chargers play, which never happens, especially since it's the Chargers. But for now, their team needs could be defensive end, defensive tackle, right tackle, corner, maybe, in the later rounds, and linebacker, which is probably higher up now. And then an ideal draft might be something along the lines of getting a linebacker like Nakobe Dean, or if you're lucky, Devin Lloyd in the first, and then in the second, getting someone who can play that defensive line position that they haven't already filled, maybe someone like Devontae Wyatt or DeMarvin Leal. And then in the third, getting someone like Justin Ross from Clemson. He's a wide receiver who I think I've explained before. He fell drastically down the depth charts and big boards just because he got an injury earlier in the season. So Justin Ross was a first-round potential, and I think he could unlock that with Justin Herbert throwing to him and being the wide receiver 3. So in the end, the Chargers are in a really good spot this year, and as long as they can get a right tackle and preferably also a right guard, they're going to be a very good team and are really in for the slugfest of the AFC West. Thank you for listening to the Los Angeles Chargers. I'll be back again, and enjoy an interview with Pranay Duper, who is a really avid Chargers fan and is very analytical of the Chargers. And not only that, he called the J.C. Jackson trade, and most importantly, he called the signing of Sebastian Joseph Day, which is probably one of my favorite and most underrated signings of the entire offseason. So enjoy his interview, and thank you for listening. All right, wait, Pranay, welcome. I'm sorry for your loss being a Chargers fan.
Hey, it's okay. At least it's not Washington. I'm gonna rep my hat, and we don't have Carson Wentz, so that's really good.
All right, well, take us away.
All right, so this past week, the best W's of my week were on Monday, because the Chargers, this past week, the Chargers have they've been really aggressive. Tom Telesco's actually going all in, even like at the beginning, he said, oh, there's no such thing as a rookie quarterback window. So that got me worried, but he's actually going all in. Starting off with Khalil Mack, that completely surprised me because I didn't expect that, and only for a second. So you still have your first rounder. They took on the cap, but on top of that, they got J.C. Jackson and Sebastian Joseph Day and Austin Joseph. I think that's his name.
Yeah, that's his name.
All right. So people are looking at J.C. Jackson, but I think I was really happy. People aren't as happy, but Sebastian Joseph Day and the other D tackle are really important signings, because last year, if you know anything, if you've seen any game, if you saw the Raiders Chargers game at the end, they cannot stop the run at all. They're number 30 ranked. So yeah, that I was really happy, but at the beginning of the season, I had J.C. Jackson on my board. I had Sebastian Joseph Day, but I thought they'd only be able to get one. But here you go, you got Khalil Mack. The D line in nickel is now it's Joey Bosa on the left, and you got Sebastian Joseph Day and Austin Joseph, and then you got Khalil Mack. That's really an improvement from last year when we had Joey Bosa would be double and triple every time. And then you had Jerry Tillery, who's complete ass. He can't block for run at all. And then the depth signing for Christian Covington, I think that's overlooked, but I think the D line's a lot better. And before free agency, I think the Chargers were looking to draft a D line in the first round, but I don't think that's the case now.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
So I think, I'm really happy with free agency. I think where we can go from here is, I think the needs are right tackle and RB2, because Austin Eckler, there was a report, he said last year, by the end of the season he had lost 10 pounds because he was overworked. Yeah, it's really bad. So Eckler, if you watch the game, he struggles because he's not when he first broke out in his breakout season, he had Melvin Gordon, and I think that really worked well. We could get Melvin Gordon back, but I think that's unrealistic.
Yeah.
But that's why I think Ronald Jones or Marlon Mack are the key candidates, because they have $15 million effective left, so you could easily get that. Sign some vet right tackle. There's Lyle Collins, but I feel he would be expensive.
Yeah, Morgan Moses would be a cheaper option.
Yeah, but I think the Ravens got him.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. I wanted him at the beginning, but I think he got signed somewhere.
Yeah, they got him.
Yeah, the Ravens got Morgan Moses, so that was sad. But I don't remember who's available, but there's a couple that you could get, and I think you draft the right tackle. But yeah, I'm happy Bulaga's gone.
Yeah.
Bulaga played half a game last year and was out the entire season, and he was set to be paid $10 million this year.
Holy
I think
cow.
he's played like 4 games in 2 seasons. Yeah, he should retire.
Seriously, it's those kinds of guys that are just so disappointing because you're like, well, what do we even do with you?
Because
Because
you're like old, but like you're used to be good, but like there's no point in keeping you.
now
So
you're garbage.
yeah,
I mean, I guess he got away from it, but yeah, your guys' like trades and stuff have been insane because
yeah,
you got Mike Williams and like it was $20 million, but he kind of earned it last year.
yeah. I think like that last game, if you see, like he was hurt. But every 4th down Justin Herbert threw was to Mike Williams. And if you remember, like if you watch any Rivers games, like you like until then, like like any clutch moment, the ball whose hands like who catches the ball like in the crucial moments is Mike Williams every time.
Dude. Yeah, honestly, like I was kind of worried that he was gonna go somewhere else and you guys were gonna be in another wide receiver drought, but. I don't know. I was kind of impressed by your depth with Guyton and Palmer. I don't know. Like, they were fine for a wide receiver 3.
Yeah.
And then Williams and Keenan Allen is a really good 1-2 punch.
Yeah. So, like, there was, like, one game, Keenan Allen was out. I think Mike Williams was too. Like, Palmer slides into Keenan's role. And then you have Guyton, who regularly, like, plays a wide receiver 3 because he's a deep threat. So, like, I think it was, like, the Giants game last year. Like most of the, like, big plays... Like, there will be to Mike Williams in clutch moments, but Guyton got our speed. But I could see them, like... Because this draft receiver class is, like, fast, so I could definitely see them, like... I don't know about the first, because I think right tackle is more important. But I could see them, like... In the 4th, maybe, like, drafting a receiver for speed to compete with Guyton.
Yeah. I mean... If you're just talking like pure speed and like depth wise, this wide receiver class is absolutely insane, and more guys just keep popping up where they're like, well, this guy's insane. He's like a 1st-round talent, but he's going in the 3rd because that's what the kind of year we have. It's insane. Like, you're not going to get your wide receiver 1 this year, but if you need a 2 or 3, you can draft in the 4th and get it.
Yeah, we need like the 3 because you have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Like, it works. You just need like consistent speed because Guyton has speed, but he has a lot of drops, and like when they would ever use him for anything besides a deep threat like move, he was kind of like garbage. So you need someone like with a little more versatility. Like, he's not bad. I'm happy with having him because he'll show up. Like, there's like some insane like 60-yard that 60-yard touchdown was Guy, but like someone who's a little more versatile, they can compete.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if Brandon Staley takes anything from Sean McVay's offense that he saw this year.
Yeah.
Because, like, he is probably so familiar with Sean McVay at this point that, like, I don't know who your offensive coordinator is off the top of my head.
It's Joe Lombardi from the Saints. Yeah.
Okay. So then you'll probably be more creative in the Saints kind of faction than the Rams faction.
Yeah.
So then you probably want another running back.
Yeah. Yeah. They've been, like, last year after, like many press conferences, they were like, oh, we're waiting for our RB2 to step up. And, like, they've drafted 2 running backs in the last 2 drafts. So they have Joshua Kelly and Roundtree, but both of them suck. So, I'm sorry, but, like, Kelly fumbles in every important, like, moment. And both of them are inconsistent. And then Justin Jackson's a free agent. He was, like, he's decent, but, like, he's always hurt. So, they recently restructured Mac. So I definitely see them, because there's Fournette's still on the market. They're not getting him, but the more they wait out, the more cheap that the running backs will get. And I easily could see them, Marlon Mack or Ronald Jones, like, easily I could see them, like, $1 to $3 million, like, in, like, the next 2 weeks. I definitely see a RB2 coming.
Yeah. So Ronald Jones, you've talked about a lot, and
Yeah.
that's one that I've been, like, seriously contemplating. But I forgot about Marlon Mack entirely.
Yeah.
Like, if you could get someone like Marlon Mack he's gonna be worth nothing because they never use him out there in Indianapolis. So you just put him on. Oh man, you put him on this team. You guys are so good.
Like, the reason we need the RB2 is because if you watch Austin, like I talked about it earlier, Eckler's breakout season, him and Melvin Gordon were like 1-2, like they would like trade the amount of times they were in, and then sometimes they're both on the field, and then Eckler's like, he's known as a receiving back, and like in certain statistics he's actually better than Christian McCaffrey or like Kamara, and like in this new offense, like because of Lombardi, he's essentially playing in Kamara's role. But you need, like, the Saints always had like a RB2, so like and you've drafted 2 in a row and they're not working, so I don't think you waste another pick. You just like go and pay a veteran for cheap, and I think that's what they're waiting on.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I've been a big fan since before I even started like analyzing football.
Mm-hmm.
I was always like, man, that Kamara Ingram like 1-2 punch is so insane.
Yeah.
So bringing that to LA, man, I don't want to see that because. But then again, let's talk about it. The AFC West is like cracked now.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel as a Chargers fan getting like this high of like a Monday?
Yeah.
And then immediately seeing like the Broncos get Russell Wilson, Devontae Adams to the Raiders, the Chiefs to the Chiefs.
Yeah. So, I was like, wow, like they could make a run this year, but now like my expectations are a little more level because I see Chandler Jones on the Raiders, and then didn't the Broncos sign someone?
Yeah, they got
Gregory, right?
Yeah, they got Randy Gregory.
And then you look at the right side of the Chargers line, you have like. Yeah, you have Storm Norton and Michael Schofield starting. And again, I'm going to go back to that Raiders game. Max Crosby bullied like the hell out of Storm Norton.
Man.
Like, they could have won that game if they had any slightly better. Like, he's not bad depth, but like that last game he got bullied. So, like, yeah, they need a right tackle.
I was watching some film breakdowns from a couple of years ago, and it was Storm Norton getting roasted by another edge rusher. I forget who it was, but he was on a different team. I think he was on the Broncos at that point, and still getting roasted at right tackle. And then I was watching Max Crosby's tape for my breakdown, getting roasted, and I'm like, man, this guy sucks. I even roasted him in the Max Crosby video. Like, this guy cannot play right tackle at the NFL level.
Yeah, so I think like they went all in on defense. Last year they went all in on offense, but the problem was Balaga. So they need to solve the right tackle problem this year. Like, you don't want like Herbert to turn into Andrew Luck or Joe Burrow. Like Joe Burrow, I'm pretty sure he got hurt at the end of last season too, right? Like he got surgery. Like they need to solve the right tackle problem this year.
Yeah,
because it's been 2 seasons of Norton. It's not good.
So luckily, right tackle, especially in the third where you guys do have your pick, is like pretty solid because offensive line in the first 2 rounds is like kind of weak this year.
Yeah,
like
that's
last
what I've
year.
been seeing.
This first 1 and 2 rounds of last year was just insane, and I'm a big guy on like the trenches and defense, and so I've always been high on like drafting the trenches early, getting your obviously Washington went like D-line for 4 years in a row. Like that's what I'm used to. That's what like I like to see in a team.
Yeah. There
were so many last year when I'm mock drafting for the first 3 rounds, right? This year, there's nothing for like the first 2 rounds. You get past Trevor Penning, who's probably going to go in like the top 15.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing.
And then there's nobody until like Nicholas Petit-Frere from Ohio State, and that fool got destroyed by Aiden Hutchinson.
Wait, was that at the senior day or like the bowl?
That was
the senior bowl? Who was the guy? Like I saw like they were showing film for a tight end, but like some like tackle got completely destroyed.
It was probably him. It was either him or Falele because.
Oh no, I think it was him.
Yeah, because Falele is like 6'8", 400 pounds, but like has no technique and stands up really tall, and so anyone just gets underneath him and just pushes over, and then you see it because it's a 6'8" dude getting decked.
Yeah.
But you guys definitely have a lot of opportunities because even if like Daniel Falele or Nicholas Petit-Frere or Abraham Lucas don't work out and they fall to you in the third, like you can move them to guard.
Yeah.
Because they're all big guards, and I don't think you pull that much. Like you guys don't seem like a big pulling team where you pull your guards and need them to be super athletic.
Yeah.
So you have that like ability to play it safe, and if something happens like the Raiders where they pick Alex Leatherwood and then he sucked, like you can move him to guard, and. Don't even get me started on Alex Leatherwood.
Yeah.
Man, I hated that pick so much, and I'm right about it because it's horrible. But
like I was expecting him to slide. Like I think there was another like tackle on the because
there were like 4.
Yeah, there was like other tackles that they could have gone because like I don't know much about college football. I'll be honest, but like I was looking like because the Chargers needed a tackle last year, and I didn't think Slater would fall, but they did. But like there was other options that the Raiders could have gone, and they chose like the worst option.
And Elijah Vera Tucker at guard too.
Yeah, that's
Man, they are really foolish. But, all right, so aside from your D-line's really strong now. I mean, I'd love to see you guys get another end, and that could even be DeMarvin Leal if he falls in the third.
He plays both, right?
Yeah. He's one of those guys who, to me, is perfect for Staley's system.
Yeah.
Because he's listed as a DT in, like, most big boards. But when you read his scouting report and you watch some, like, college football's so hard to find film on.
Yeah.
But what I do find on him, like, he'll play end and defensive tackle. So, like, he'd fit perfectly where Tillery is.
Yeah. Yeah, because they need like a D tackle because like right now they have Joseph Day, Johnson, and then Covington. Like, because I don't trust Tillery, so I think you need like a fourth like depth guy.
Yeah.
And then for ends they have Chris Rumpf. I think they drafted him like late last year, and like he has potential. But I think they should re-sign Kyler Fackrell because like he's had good history in Green Bay and New York.
Mm-hmm.
But like I could like later in the rounds like someone who has like special teams also.
Yeah.
Like I think they could draft like someone else. But Rumpf last year, like he came in and he's good on special teams. So like and he's behind Mac and Bosa. He gets to learn from both of them. I feel like he could like definitely like make some progress. But they could also draft someone later.
Yeah. And then, so looking at the draft, you probably don't study it as rigorously as I have, but as a fan, what do you want in that first round? Because a lot of times, like, you might have a more pressing need statistically, but in the end, the fans want what the fans want. Yeah. And so if you're pushing, obviously you aren't, but if you're pushing for a wide receiver in the first and you get like a linebacker, which would be my pick, like,
you want the Chargers to get a linebacker?
Maybe, because it depends how it falls out. If Devin Lloyd's there, yes. If you're picking up Chad Muma, no.
Okay. Because, alright, I don't want them to get a linebacker because the thing is, they're letting go of Kaiser White. They haven't re-signed him yet. If you look at his stats, like last year he was good. The reason they aren't re-signing him because they have, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but his name's like Eamon Ogbog. I don't know how to say his name, but he's on the roster, and then they have...
Oh, man.
Yeah, Eamon...
Ogbong Bemiga. That's horrible. Yeah,
they have him. They seem to trust him and Nick Neiman. Like, Drew Tranquil is good. But then they traded up. They traded second and third to come back in the first for Kenneth Murray. And that's why they're letting go of Kaiser White. Mm-hmm. So, like, if they drafted another linebacker, I'd be pissed because, like, you could have just re-signed Kaiser White.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I think, like, logically it should be right tackle.
Yeah.
But I want, like, a speedy receiver. Because, like you see Herbert, like, you see his arm. Like, imagine, like Jameson Williams or Traylon Burks. Like, imagine, like, Herbert with them. Like, plus Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Like, you have speed. And then, yeah, that's what I want. But I would be happy with a right tackle because that's, like, a pressing need. Because given, like, the Raiders got Chandler, like, all the D ends in the AFC West are, like, crazy now. So, a right tackle is, like, the biggest need on this team right now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of free agents that are, like, worth it. But it's going to be tough to find, like, a free agent to fill that spot. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, if right tackle falls to you, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But in the case that it doesn't, you'd go with, like, the fast guys?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but there's Lyle Collins, and, like, they cleared up cap, and they could pay him because they have 15 right now. And I think he's looking to get 10 to 12 a year. I'm not sure. It could be more. But, but the reports are saying, like, he's met with the Bengals, so I could see him going there. But, because he also has, like, I think he tried to bribe a drug dude.
Oh, yeah,
he was getting tested and he was, like, bribed. So I could see him, like, not coming, but, like, who knows?
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. He was suspended for, like, 4 games or something like that?
Yeah, because he tried to bribe the dude. Yeah.
But I definitely think Jameson Williams is realistic.
Yeah.
And between him, Chris Olave, Traylon Burks, one of them's going to be there.
Yeah.
Because there's no way those three go. Like, Garrett Wilson, he's not going to be there.
Yeah.
But, like, anyone after that, there's a solid chance.
Yeah, there's 3 guys, the ones that you named that they could get. So, I don't know. It'll be exciting to see.
Yeah. All right. Any more wishes for free agency at all? Like, obviously, La'el Collins is a dream, but, like, if you're looking at it, aside from La'el Collins, is there anyone else that you're like, oh, man, I really want the Chargers to sign this guy?
Well, my number one is Ronald Jones. Like, I'm pushing for that. Like, I don't know if it'll happen. Let me think. They have 15. Like, I would want them. I think they should get Kyler Fackrell. I think, like, they should resign him. And then, who's the corner? I because right now, so they have 3 corners, but like if one of them gets hurt, they're back to this guy, Tevon Campbell, and he gets bullied like hell. So like I don't want him starting. So who's the guy that went from the Bears and signed with the Broncos for
Kyle Fuller?
Yeah, Kyle Fuller.
Yep.
Like he could be cheap. He has like history with Staley. And Staley actually called like to get him last year, but then the Broncos threw 10 mil at him.
Yeah.
Like he's not like good, but he's a vet, and he could because I don't want to see Tevon Campbell starting. Like he's horrible.
All right. Well, that was actually like an insane breakdown of the Chargers. So
Thank you
for that. Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
All right.
It was nice having you.
Thank you.
All right.